If you have any questions or need one-on-one training or some custom files made for you, this is my contact information, so feel free to reach out via email. You can text me. You could even give me a call. I'd be happy to answer questions or give you more details on the one-on-one training we offer, and as well as if you need custom files made until you are up to speed on how to make them yourself, feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to help you with that as well. All right, here we are in Bambu Studio, and we are going to go ahead and import our artwork that we created in Inkscape and turn it into a 3D model. Now, we're using Bambu Studio in this example, but what I'm about to show you can really be accomplished with whatever slicer you might be using. So let's go ahead and hit Control I, and let's go to our desktop here, and let's find our school can. There it is. So there is our school can logo. Now, when you import an SVG, it's always going to come in as one color, whatever the first defined filament color is, and then it is always going to come in 10 millimeters thick. All right, so let's go ahead and we need, let's see, we need black, we need white, we need yellow, and we need red for this example here. So let's go ahead and pick a red here. All right, so back over here to the Objects tab, remember I said everything would be backwards. So this first piece is our backplate, and it is going to be white. So we'll hit 2, and now that's our next piece is the bus, and that is going to be color number 3. And I'm just hitting the corresponding color on my keyboard here. That is our text, and it is going to be black, so we can leave it. And then these are our flashers, and that's going to be color 4. And then what is that? Okay, that is our mirror bracket, I believe. Those are going to be black. And yes, those are our mirrors. And then this is our mirror bracket again. And then this is our grill. And then these are our tires. And lastly, our bumper. Okay, so we'll start up top here with our backplate. And when we're doing can openers, I like to have my backplate to be 8. So we'll click on Scale and Uniform Scale, and we'll set that to 8. I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's select the whole assembly first. How are we going to do that? Yeah, let's select the whole assembly first, and then set the whole assembly to 8. Okay, and then if we all click on just the backplate and we look at its thickness, you'll see it is in fact 8. And then the other consideration is the Z height is 4, and that's what we want. So the rest of this stuff, the bus and blah, 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 for right now, let's just make it all 1 millimeter thick. Okay, and then let's set all of it to, let's see here, let's go back. 1 millimeter thick. And then let's position all of it to the Z height of 8.5. Now you say, why 8.5? Our backplate was 8. Everything else is 1 currently. So half of 1 is 0.5. So the Z height would be 8.5. Okay, that's how we make those calculations. All right, perfect. So now we're kind of more or less got it coming together the way we want it. Now the grill, let's grab our grill. Our yellow school bus is 1. Our white plate is 8. 8 and 1 is 9. Our grill is 1. Half of 1 is 0.5. So this Z height has to be 9.5 to sit on top of our yellow school bus. Also, our flashers, wherever those are, that too has to be at 9.5 because it has to sit on top of the school bus. Okay. Now, the bumper and the tires are sitting on top of white. Our mirrors are sitting on top of white. And the text is sitting on top of white. So everything else is like it should be. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to alt-click the bumper, and I'm going to make it physically thicker. So we're going to make it 2 millimeters. Okay. So its Z height, half of 2 is 1, plus the 8 of the white. So it should be sitting at what? Well, it should be sitting at 9. Okay. So now let's take a look at it here so we can see it a little bit better. So you see how the bumper is thicker than the tires? Gives it a little bit more dimension that way. Okay. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing with our mirrors. So we'll go ahead and physically change the thickness of our mirrors to be 2. And then we'll have to change that height to 9 as well. Okay. And so now you can see our mirrors are proud of our bracket. And I just think that just could add a little extra flair there. Now, if we want our mirrors thicker, but maybe not quite that thick, we can do that too. So we want it just to be a little bit proud. So we could do like 1.5 thickness of the mirror. And then I want to show you another option, because I know that math can be a little bit confusing. So what if we did this? What if we took our mirrors and we don't know the exact bath that we need to do. We'll just move it up in the Z direction here. So what we can do is select our assembly and go to our assembly tool, and we'll choose the face-to-face assembly. So we could go to the face of our white and then the underside of our mirror, and whatever this distance is, just hit 0. And excuse me, what it's supposed to do is, if we do this again, back onto the assembly, we're supposed to be able to zero this out, and it would place it right down on top of this white block. In this case, if we zero it out, it doesn't do that. See there? And I don't know why exactly, but we know how much we have to move it, 53.27. So if we go right here and select just the mirror, that is the current Z, 6202, and all we have to do is subtract the 5327. So watch how this works. 6202 minus 53.27, 8.75. Now, why is it 8.75? Well, the white piece is 8. The mirror is 1.5. Half of 1.5, 0.75. Okay? So it's still doing math, but that's why it is that way. So 8, it's just another way of figuring it out. 8.75. Okay, so there you go. So now those are sitting at the right height. All right, so now what we have to do is we have to decide where we are going to be using the can opener port to actually put in our little slot for our pull tab. And I think this is not a good side to do it. I think I'm going to do it up here. So let's go ahead and open up our little cutter. So we're going to hit Control I, and I'll go to our desktop here. And we'll choose Can Opener. And we're looking for the Boolean. There's our Boolean piece that we made. There it is. And we go ahead and move it out here, like so. Right here. And we're going to turn it around. So we'll go to our Rotate tool, and we'll turn it all the way around. Okay, so now this is what we've got. Now, it's a little bit hard to see, so let's go ahead and make it like that. Now, that ramp needs to be the opposite direction. So we'll just go ahead and rotate this. This is in the green direction here. That needs to be up top, just like that. Okay? And then we're going to go ahead and move it into position here, where we're going to make our cut. And so you see here, I just want it slightly proud. And then we're going to go to our scale tool, and we're just going to come in here and just make it just a little bit more this way. Not much. And then we'll move that into position right there. Okay? So just so it's barely proud. Now, I want to move this in the Z direction, but I can't unless it's combined to the main assembly. So Shift Control, and then right click and merge. And then Alt click our little cutter, and we're going to move it up. So currently it's 1.75. Let's just move it up to 3. Okay? And then so we have a little bit of slice right down there. So now we can go ahead and cut that out. So we'll go to the Mesh Boolean tool, go to Subtraction, push everything to the left, come back over here and bring our can opener back over. So now the can opener is the only thing here on the right, and we'll choose Execute, and there's our slot for our tab. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So now all we have to do is put in our little key ring. So we'll go ahead and hit Control I, and then on my desktop here, I have a file called key tag. There's our key tag file. And all it is just a little cylinder here. And we're going to change the scale of that to be only 4 tall. That's what I need for my jump rings that I have. And then this only needs to stick out far enough to hold our jump ring. So it doesn't need to be sticking way out there. So we could just move it in and leave a big enough hole, just big enough for our jump ring. So it's going to be just like that. Okay, I think that's big enough. Let's go ahead and change that to white. Now, in order for this to print correctly, we have to take that key tag, Shift Control the assembly, right click and merge. Otherwise it would give us an error message that it can't cut. Now, when we're talking about our can opener, we do have a situation here where we have a bridge. And as we print our bridge, we've got nothing down here to support it. So I want to talk to you about some special settings here when you're making your can openers that you should consider. So first of all, let's just slice it. Now it doesn't actually tell us that we need supports because I already have this profile applied, but I want to show you what all we did to set this profile up. So firstly, let's go back to our Prepare tab. Let's go over to our global settings here. So we do have our can opener set profile here. And so what we want to do is go to the support tab. We want to enable supports. And then we're going to come down here. And we're going to choose right here the top Z distance of 0.28. And then down here, the top interface layers, we're going to say 4. So that is on support. On the speed tab, all we're going to do here is come down here to bridge. This is normally 50 millimeters. We back that down to 20. Okay. And then on the strength tab, the only real difference here is we made our wall loops to 4. Okay. And then on the quality tab, this is an important one. I choose all of these options all the way down, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, up to sparse infill. Okay, make all those 0.25, and this will print really lovely. So if we go ahead and go back to the preview tab here, you'll see that there are some supports just to support that lead edge of our hole, but there's nothing inside the slot. Okay, and one other thing I forgot to mention, on the support side, what makes that happen is we have on build plate only. So it will only generate supports from the build plate, it won't generate any supports on the inside where the support is actually sitting on top of something that's already been printed. Okay, and like I say, this will yield us some really good printed results. So that is how we go about turning our artwork into our 3D model. And then we have some extra dimension with our mirror sticking proud of the bracket and the bumpers proud of the bus and the tires. And then we could personalize this with whatever we wanted. So let me show you that last little step. It's what if we did want to personalize this. So let's go over here to Inkscape because I think it's a simple enough thing, but an important thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy. Let's just go ahead and duplicate our school bus here, and I just want to show you this. Okay, so what if we wanted to do some curved text like we've got there? Well, this is what I would do. I would come in here, okay, and we'll make a couple of rectangles. Shift select our bus, Control minus, select our rectangle, Shift Control our bus, Control minus, and then we will go ahead and, well, we could just leave it just like that if we really wanted to. Let's go ahead and we're going to select that right there and Shift select that right there, and we're going to go up here, and right here it says break path at selected nodes. Okay, and so then we can go ahead and break apart, and we should be able to extract just that curve that we were working on right there. So no fill, Shift select, we just have a stroke now. So we have no fill, we just have our stroke. So now we can go ahead and grab our text, and let's just call it, let's just use Mindy. I don't know what the school bus driver's name is, but let's just say it's Mindy. Okay, and let's go ahead and make this smaller. So we think it might fit. Let's see here. All right, we'll go with that. All right, so there's Mindy. And then all we're going to do here is attach this to the path. So we'll select them both, and we'll go up here to text, and it says right here, put on path. Boom. So there's Mindy. She's put on the path there. Well, what we can do is, you see Mindy's on the bottom there, so we can do path in reverse, and now Mindy's on top. How fun is that? Okay, and then so now we have the right curvature there. So if I were to take out the school bus text, and I could pop in Mindy here, just like so, or bus number or whatever we want to do. That's how we would take care of adding text to that curve there. All right. So that's it for this one. Now, if you want this file, we have a new Patreon, which I will link to in the video description below. So we have a new Patreon where you can download this file from our Patreon. And we have lots more files over there on our Patreon page, so definitely check those out. We're still new. We're brand new to Patreon, so we're building out our library, but we'll add this file to it. So with that said, until next time, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or need one-on-one training or some custom files made for you, this is my contact information, so feel free to reach out via email. You can text me. You could even give me a call. I'd be happy to answer questions or give you more details on the one-on-one training we offer, and as well as if you need custom files made until you are up to speed on how to make them yourself, feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to help you with that as well.